the bag work about of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? Y'all tune into Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad up here in effect with me today. I got my brother Vague up in Jersey. What's going on, fam?
Chilling, man. Spring training.
Yeah.
Ain't spring season yet, but I'm ready.
Dog, it was 70 degrees out in the hood today. It's just like
about spring.
Niggas was damn near barbecuing in the hood. Like I said, don't bring me no 40-degree day, 50-degree smile in your face. Niggas is damn near barbecuing. Yo, there wasn't a teen in my teen center. Everybody was out on the basketball court. Kids had their bikes out. Niggas had the grill out in the hood. So, yeah, it's nice 70-degree day. Nick, what's going on, man?
Just ready to do this, man. What's going on, fellas?
No doubt. Earl, what's going on out in the ATL, man?
Man, I'm honored to be in the presence of greatness.
Oh, shit, man. Y'all the greatness. I'm just here. I'm just trying to host the show, man. Y'all the greatness, man. Let's already jump into it. Y'all know how it is. Usually at least once a month, Complex comes up with a nut-ass list that I do not agree with whatsoever. Last week, they came out with a list, and I was good for the bulk of it. It was the best rapper alive every year from 1979 to 2017. And from 79 to probably about 2000, I wasn't mad at most of the people they picked. And to be honest, I wasn't even mad at a lot of the people they picked in the 2000s. I just felt like they were picking them because they were the biggest artists that year, not necessarily in my eyes the best MC, which is two totally different things. So y'all know me, I had to get my squad together, sit down, debunk everything they just taught y'all, because there are people who look at Complex like, all right, I'm learning, and I'm like, y'all learning the wrong shit. So let's fix this and get y'all learning the right stuff. So for me, we're going to talk about how everybody picked their list. But for me, my list was based off of what MC had the dopest album that year, not including groups. This was just MCs. There may be some years I pass on because I wasn't really feeling nothing like that to even feel like you need that mantle or whatever like that. Firm may throw in some R&B bangers over there or whatever. So let's just jump right into it. Vague, who was your 2000? Who was the dopest MC for you?
Oh, we starting with 2000?
2000. We just doing 2000 and 2017.
I did not know that. I did everybody.
Oh. Well, you could bring us up to 2000. Tell us who you got for 70. You going back to 79. I could even go back to 79, bro.
I think the earliest I could go is 88.
It didn't really change that much from what they had there.
All right.
Maybe one or two. But now I'll just stick to 2000. Keep it, because that's a long-ass list. Damn, 2000, I was kind of conflicted. And honestly, I did my list based off the fact I had limited time. But I used Complex's list, and if I agreed with who they had, I stuck with it. If I felt somebody else deserved it because they had an honorable mention section, I would give it to that other person. So for 2000, I had Ghostface. And mainly because of Supreme Clientele.
Right.
And around that time, I was hosting Strictly Hip Hop. And, there was a lot of dope hip hop that was out. It wasn't a shortage whatsoever. And I remember when I saw the cover to, because before I even heard the album, I saw the cover to Supreme Clientele with Ghost holding the mic. And I was like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, this is one of the worst album covers I've seen in my life, because it just looked really corny. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, Ghost, I can't say Ghost fell off because Iron Man was good, but I wasn't crazy about it. But man, I was completely surprised, man, because I loved every song on that album, to the point where you're not supposed to do this in radio, commercial, or public radio. I think we put every song on that album in rotation at some point. And I'm not even talking about over the span of a year. I'm talking about span over maybe a month or two. It's just like every 5 minutes, you know, after we got playing the hell out of one record we love, you know, we would come up during the week and say, yo, that joint, you know, what you call it, Child's Play is kind of crazy on the low, and then that would hit the rotation. Also, let me just brag on myself a little bit. Somewhat of a sidetrack, but it's connected, right? On Strictly Hip Hop, there are certain records that would be, well, will later become commercial records that I used to break on there because I knew they were dope records that worked for Strictly Hip Hop's underground audience and a mainstream audience. One being Common's Delight, he's playing that way before everybody else, Heavy, and Church Sailor Ghost, or however way you say it. We was playing that to death before the video, before it came out as a single. But yeah, man, Ghost was just firing on all cylinders. It was really difficult for me to remember what else came out that year. Complex had Eminem, and I kind of agree with it from a mainstream standpoint. But I don't feel like that was the year that Eminem was like the dude in the game as far as everything from album to disc records and all that. So yeah, man, 2000 I had Ghostface mainly because of Supreme Clientele.
All right, no doubt. Nick, who'd you got?
Yes, same thing. Ghostface. For all the reasons Vague already mentioned. A quick sidebar I got my own little sidebar with that one. I was working at the record store at the time, and Shorty, who got kicked out of Destiny's Child, used to come in there and shop. So I sold that CD to her, the little short, thick one, because she was dating
Latavia.
Yes, yeah, because she was dating one of the Jagged Edge dudes.
Okay, and she would come into the record store just
just coming in and shop, little bad thick chick. I see why they kicked her out. You know what I mean? She, you know, they ain't want too much competition for Beyonce. But I sold that CD to her, man. So shout out to her. She watched this.
Seeing there's a chance.
like you schooled all Ghostface. That's what's up.
Ghostface, yeah, man.
All right, who you got for 2000, man?
Left field. Who is Jill Scott?
Okay.
I mean,
for mad at that.
I really don't have to go into details, but just the sound, the music of it, you know, her dopeness. And one of my criteria was there were a lot of artists and lists and stuff. I mean, albums on there, but I had to be honest and say, do I own the music? You know what I mean? Because I could get on this thing with y'all and act like, yeah, man, but I got to be real. I own this. So 2000 for me, I'm going with Jill Scott. Who is Jill Scott?
Jelly, yeah.
All right, no doubt. Let's break this down for people. Vernon hit us like, yo, man, I ain't really listened to a lot of hip hop post 2000 like that. And I'm like, nah, man, you still gotta be part of the show. I don't care, throwing R&B joints, whatever. You know, I don't ever, because I look at it like we a squad. So if it's a topic that somebody doesn't feel like they on point with, I don't want to be like, yo, sit out the game. It's like, nah, still chop it up, you know, whatever. So that's why Vernon's gonna be throwing us some R&B joints every now and then. I gotta go with it's across the board as far as the hip hop Ghostface Supreme Clientele, man. I mean, it was just, I mean, from the second I heard that intro with the Tony Starks and went into the just everything, that Beat Nuts one track, the joint with Red and Met, just the whole album was just and as a runner up, because I really did enjoy this album, was Comm's Like Water for Chocolate.
Oh, that was 2000? For some reason I thought that was 99. Okay.
Yeah, nah. Okay. And keep this in mind, because Cash be like, yo, Kill, I can't get up there with y'all. Y'all be knowing that shit off the top of your head. No, we don't. This is all
There's only one person who knows all the dates to every song in life that ever came out.
Yeah, you know and that's JR. He on Twitter, like,
he like the encyclopedia.
Anniversary of, I'm like, who even talks about the anniversary? Like, they are like, it's the 12th anniversary. I'm like, okay.
He be knowing the dates of the 45 release.
Right.
45 was released.
Exactly. So now
this
is all Wikipedia, because there's no way in hell at 43 I can sit here and rattle off every album that came off in 2000. So yeah, Supreme Clientele goes for me. Veg, who you got for 2001?
All right, for 2001, I'm kind of going to cheat, but they old, so just put them niggas together. I got Jay-Z and Nas.
Okay.
Mainly because for a minute, Complex had Jay-Z down, obviously Blueprint and everything Jay was doing around that time. But I think Nas him and Nas, man, they for hip hop, they kind of made that year memorable. There was a lot of, beefs and stuff going on and people dropping albums, but Stillmatic was dope. Blueprint was dope. Both disc records were dope. They had different records. It was like two different styles, but they were at the top of their game lyrically. The beat selections was crazy. And I just felt it difficult to just say, okay, well, I'll give it to Jay for the Blueprint and everything else when, once Stillmatic dropped in, like One Mic and all, like that stuff was dominating the radio. And remember, you talk about 2001, 9/11 happened, Jay-Z dropped on 9/11, people still copped his album in some cases. I guess early. I had the bootleg. But like, don't sleep, y'all. Back, it was slow as hell on the AOL back then, but we was downloading them albums like, all right, it's gonna take 34 hours, but we gonna have that shit. But yeah, man, I just felt like even though they came out towards the tail end of the year, I think both of those albums and their whole beef kind of honestly made me forget about what else dropped that year. You know what I'm saying? And I think they kind of share that one in regards to hip hop and that moment they had with those two classic albums and their battle back and forth. So,
all right,
yeah, Jay-Z and Nas, 2001.
All right, Nick, who you got?
Jay-Z, Blueprint, for some of the reasons Vague already said. Also the production by Bink, Kanye, Just Blaze. Just only tracks I didn't like was I wasn't a big fan of the Renegade like everybody else. I was just never too big of a fan of Eminem's production. Like it only fit him to me.
Right. Yeah.
But the Blueprint, that's my choice for 2001.
No doubt. Vern, what about you?
I got Blueprint, but since everybody said that, I'll just throw out a dark horse. That AOI Bionics, that De La album. It's got one of my all-time favorite De La joints on that. Trying People, I love that. So, but Blueprint hands down I would say. So Jay-Z for that year.
Yeah, and same for me, Blueprint. The funniest thing for me about that album was I was done with Jay at that point. I didn't hear that rock whatever album came before that. I'm done. This dude is never gonna give me the music I want again. And my man Jay said to me like, "Yo, man, you need to buy this Blueprint, man. It's dope." And I was like, "Nah, I ain't fucking with him no more."
Okay, so when did you check out?
I checked out probably after. All right, the Hard Knock Life album to me, I really didn't like. To me, I believe that was, and I've said this many times, that was like the album that split hip hop down the middle. Because to me, before that album, being at Morgan, everybody always agreed on the same stuff. It'd be like, yo, Return to Boom Bap, KRS, that's dope, this is dope, that's dope. When that album came, it was like with them Swiss beats, like I literally saw crews split down the middle, and half of them be like, yo, this Swiss shit is crazy, and the other half be like, nah, this shit is whack. So I think I checked out like right around that album. Then when the next one with the Put Your Hands Up, I mean, I always think Jay had good songs, but as far as a whole album, yeah, I probably checked out after the Put Your Hands Up album. I don't know, was that Volume 2 or whatever, but I never heard that album. What was that? The Rock Nation, not Rock Nation, but Rock
La Familia.
Dynasty. I stopped rocking. I didn't even listen to that until after years later, like much years later, like to the point that when I finally heard 1-900 Hustler, I was like, damn, Just Blaze killed that. And then that's when I got put on to the whole, nah, that's Bink. And I was like, nah, that can't be Bink. Nah, that's Just. So I didn't hear that album until later. So I checked out, like 2 albums before that, and I'm done. Like, I'm like, he's not coming with the beats I want. He's not making music for me. And my man James was like, nah, man, you gotta hear this album. Like, I don't know who did the beats, but they crazy to the point. I went and brought it from Borders Bookstore. And in 2001, a CD from Borders Bookstore, like $18.99.
Yeah, $20.
Like that was like big time money back then. Like, my nigga, this better be good. And I just remember just being like, yeah, like yo, this dude is back. The only track I didn't like that Trackmasters track. Was that the
the Jigga My Nigga junk? Yeah.
That was like, and even the whole Vito, the Timberland track.
Timberland, yeah, that was trash.
Yeah, I ain't care for that either.
Yeah, other than that, man, just it was the album that got me back in the J, and then I felt like it was the album that also ushered back in sampling, because between this and that, people weren't sampling. My man Roots, who schooled me, was like selling records, and everybody had their Triton, and everybody was doing those beats, but I felt like Jay is, like I always said, he the Wizard of Oz. It's like, yo, the color green, wear green. Literally, like, yo, stop sampling, okay? Everybody stop sampling. They were like, guess what? Sampling's back. And then everybody was doing it. And, it's like, that nigga literally, makes the path for everybody to follow, So, yeah, definitely the blueprint. All right, Vague, what you got for 2002?
2002, I got Eminem.
Okay.
He released. I go back and forth between the Marshall Mathers LP and the Eminem Show. The Eminem Show came out in 2002. Arguably his best album. Not because of all the goofy singles. It was so, like, to me, those singles, those real goofy singles where he dissing pop culture icons or whatever the hell. I always felt like they did that because non-hip-hop fans like them joints. You know what I'm saying? That's what they liked about Eminem. They like that quirkiness. So he had to drop those, but he had a lot of dope records on there that, honestly, if he released White America today, I mean, my God, we wouldn't even be able to escape the coverage, the social media, the all of that. And he was doing that back then. He was pointing out, the fact that he's hip-hop's Elvis without purposely stealing, you know what I'm saying, like Elvis did. Shout out to Jackie Wilson. Eminem took his whole style, look him up. We ain't even lying over here. Jackie Wilson. They all know what's up.
Yeah, yeah.
Stole his whole style, even his look. But fuck Elvis. Let's get back
for real. Fuck Elvis.
But Eminem, I just love the fact that on that album he had a lot of social commentary. He had a lot of songs where he talked more about himself, because the number one thing is, like, as an artist and as fans of artists, we want to make a connection with the person eventually. You can tell your stories about your homeboy or whatever. You can make them up all you want. But at some point, the listeners want to connect with you. And I felt like Eminem slowly but surely was seeping out, how he really felt about him growing up. It was terrible. It may not be the projects, but Trailer Park is really close to the projects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How, his daughter, his baby mom. And it wasn't always the Slim Shady kill. He would just throw in their joints and let you know, okay, well, this is why I say this and this is why I say that. And not just the Eminem Show. At the time, he was working with a lot of people like Jay-Z and all that. And like lyrically, he was just crazy. Like, I know this wasn't a competition, but Nail in the Coffin was Benzino. Just lyrically as an MC dissing another rapper. It doesn't even matter if Benzino was nice, it wouldn't have mattered. That Nail in the Coffin is crazy. That's like a taste of what he would do if he battled another rapper who was worthy, at least. And it just felt like, damn, Eminem can't lose until he lost with the next album. But the Eminem Show, 2002, I think that was the main reason why I felt, Eminem had kind of arrived after, kind of slept on start, kind of confusing second album, even though everybody loves it. Stan comes from it. But the Eminem Show is that album that, if I got to point to somebody, this is probably his peak. 2002 was his peak.
No doubt. Nick, who you got?
Pastor Brad Jordan, known as Scarface, The Fix. First album on Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? He hit you like he usually do. Had production from Ye, Just Blaze, Knots was on there. I think that's probably, outside of the Diary, that's probably his most focused album in my opinion. I seen him ranking his own albums. And it kind of shocked me how he had some of the stuff lined up. But 2002, I would give it to Scarface for the fix.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Bro, who you got?
Nellyville. No, I'm just kidding, bro.
Yo, on some real stuff, all jokes aside, I'm in my teen center the other day, and one of my girls on the computer, and I'm like, yo, why are you looking up Nelly stuff? And she's like, oh, I'm doing a book report on Nelly. I was like, yo, close that fucking browser right now. Like, don't you do no goddamn blanket Nelly. Like, bring up Big, man. Bring up Big. Like, don't you tell me you doing a Black History Report. Nelly.
Oh.
Yo, I'm like, yo, come on, close that. Don't do that.
Oh boy. Here's another left field. I got to go with that Justin Timberlake Justified album, man.
Okay.
I
know this is hate JT season, man.
I know. I can see and all that. But like I said, I wasn't gonna be disingenuous and act like I was just all over a hip hop album that I wasn't. So if I'm still listening to joints on here like on a regular rotation. So I'm gonna go with that. You know, with Señorita, Take It From Here, Cry Me a River. I think him and Tim had a perfect marriage and perfect blend. So I'm gonna go with that one.
All right, no doubt.
I got a quick story for that, because that's also when I was working at the record store, and I remember working with this white chick, and she, we used to get like the promo copy prior to release, and she was like, I want to play this Justin Timberlake CD. I was like, man, no. I said, play that on the nights you don't work with me. so she didn't play it, but like the next week we worked again, she just popped it in. I'm out there like bobbing my head about 3 or 4 tracks. I'm like, who is this? She's like, Justin Timberlake? I'm like, fuck out of here. Let me see that. Let me see that cover. So I'm reading the credits. I see like Timbaland, Neptunes, Brian McKnight. Like, white boy, he did it. He convinced me that day.
Funny thing about that record, I remember I wouldn't go into the Tower Records in DC to buy it. I was scared. I was like, yo, I was embarrassed. I'm like, yo, man,
I need to buy some tampons.
buy this just the CD for me, because I don't want to. I know the niggas who work up in there, and I don't need no jokes. So, buy this CD. But my choice is gonna be Quality, Talib Kweli's first album. It's funny to me. Talib is an incredible MC when he got the right production.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I know some people don't like the way he rhymes, and they say he fits too much into one sentence, but I just think the joints on this album, like, Get By, I mean, to this day, like, and then too, what I loved about this album, he's working with a young, hungry Kanye. You know, and I'm always like, when you're working with a young, hungry producer, you're gonna get something out of them. And I mean, the Gorilla Monsoon rap with Thought and Pharaoh. And the other joint he had, Good to You. It was just a dope album to me. So for 2002, I had to get us to Talib Kweli. Vay, who you got on 2003?
2003, I got 50 Cent. I mean, it was from the mixtapes, the G-Unit mixtapes, from even cats having the unreleased Power of a Dollar. 50 was kind of feeling like Biggie again in New York City. Not quite Biggie, but as far as an excitement level and the anticipation for him. And like I told in one of your other or I mentioned in one of your other podcasts, I came home at some point, and this is before Get Rich or Die Trying, and I was in downtown Brooklyn, and I saw a billboard of 50 Cent is the Future, the mixtape cover, and I was like, yo, this dude has a billboard, a Clear Channel billboard in the middle of downtown Brooklyn for a mixtape. Mm-hmm. Now, today, that might be something that happens all the time, but back then, that was unheard of. And he just had a string, like he had all these songs on the radio based off of mixtapes, unreleased records. Biggie had the same thing, like that whole Best of Biggie that Mr. C's put together. Like when you put that together, Cats is playing all of that before Ready to Die came out. Get Rich or Die Trying was coming out. I didn't know what to expect, being with Dr. Dre and Eminem. In the club, at first I was kind of like, I don't think it's gonna be good. Till I actually went to the club and I was like, I was like, well, I like this one. You know what I'm saying? But once the album dropped, man, and What Up Gangsta came on, and that just kind of like in the club is something else. This is that mixtape 50. From having like I guess another DVD, well, a DVD that comes with the album that's like a video for every song on it. It's just the hype was just, it met the hype that, everybody was anticipating. And that's why he sold so much and recouped and all of that. And I just kind of felt like for a minute, everything was G-Unit. Like, there was no more, like, nobody remembered Bad Boy, nobody remembered Rough Riders or any label before that, that Rockefeller, like, even though Rockefeller was still there, it was like 50 just took control of the mind share of hip-hop, because it was just that big, man, and he was doing it without compromising his lyrical integrity, meaning he was still talking that gangster shit, and he was huge. He was literally a pop star who was a gangster rapper.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
He could do no wrong back then.
Yeah, exactly. Until he dropped the second album. With the muscle cartoon on it.
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong when I saw that. I was like, oh shit, I think it's over. Like, look at this shit. Look at this cover. Yo, we didn't mention that as a whack album cover.
That should have been drawn in abs.
That was
the 300 abs.
Yeah, when you look like on that cover, y'all ever heard of? Some of y'all heard of this. Sunman, y'all remember that toy from back in the days? The black
I remember the
name. Yo, I'm gonna find that shit and post it in Black History Month. Like, what y'all know about Sunman? But yeah, 50 Cent for 2003.
Oh man,
all right, no doubt. Nick, who you got?
Same thing, obvious choice, 50 Cent. I mean, that you couldn't escape it. It was impossible to escape 50, and that's like the last year I was at the record store, and that shit was selling like crazy. Like, I mean, street dudes, chicks, white corporate dudes, everybody bought the record. Like,
Bankhead to Buckhead.
Exactly, everybody bought that record. I was slide a runner up for this year, because I enjoyed Freeway's Philadelphia Freeway. I know a lot of people don't like his flow, but I love that album personally.
All right, no doubt. Vern, who you got?
I got to go with my favorite Jay album, the Black Album.
Man, it was 2003. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, what more can I say? Encore, Threat, Dirt, Moment of Clarity, PSA, Lucifer, Allure. I mean, it was a very thorough album to me. Jay was on his thing.
No doubt. And I gotta go with 50. The thing that I most remember about that album was I couldn't find it nowhere. I couldn't remember a time when I couldn't go. Like, I went to Best Buy, sold out. Went to Sam Goody, sold out. Like, I did the round of like 4 or 5 spots and still came home empty-handed. And I couldn't think of any time in hip hop ever when there was something like that, where it was like, yo, you can't find this record anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? So, and then just loving them songs. Because I mean, I could still listen to Many Men Today and enjoy it just as much as when it first came out, all that stuff. So, just a dope album. Crazy that, he dissed Ja for singing and he ended up singing. But
Pretty much.
Part of the game though. So, I gotta go with the 50 for that. 2004, Veg, what you got?
All right, my 2004, this is where my limited time and research comes into play. But I will say this, around 2004, even though I wasn't hosting the hip-hop show no more, I stopped in around 2002. I still was a producer on the hip-hop show, and so I was still deep into what was happening in hip-hop. And I'm going to go with Cameron, mainly because of the momentum and the whole Dipset movement, because the whole Dipset movement was kind of right there with the G-Unit movement, but 50 was just on a bigger platform. But at the same time, Dipset and Cam and albums like, which I think Come Home With Me was actually 2003, I believe. I think 2004, I think, was Purple Haze. But, like, between Cam and Being on a Rock and all the records they recorded, like, they just had hit after hit. It just felt like every time I went to the club, it was a new anthem. Dipset, whether it was from Cam or from somebody else or from Dipset group. And it just kind of felt like, even though they were sharing the spotlight with a lot of other artists at the time, because all the dissing from 2001, believe it or not, it was still going on even back then, around 2004, which is crazy. I got a mixtape series where I put all that shit together. I should share that with people. I have everything, trust me, everything on them shits, but including the whack ones. That'd be Nelly and KRS-One. But yeah, man, I just kind of felt like, even though Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment is probably still my favorite Cameron album.
Same here.
You know what I'm saying? I was loving it. Like, come on, man. People always talk about, like, Cam do say some dumb shit like computers puking and shit like that. But he had a song called Shut the Fuck Up, and I love that record. You know why? Because that's how I feel sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like Kill, like he was just talking about it. You know, dudes talking tough. Shut the fuck up. Like, you just wanna say it. So to have that as a hook, I didn't see it as being lazy. I don't think it appeared on any albums. The Yayo track, you know what I'm saying? From Scarface taking that shit and flipping it. The ESPN joint, like, you know, like he did with the Magnum PI.
Right. Yeah.
Like, Cam was just doing a lot of dope stuff that was on record, underground, just all over the place. So I just kind of felt like maybe he deserved 2004. But I might change my mind when I hear y'all. So,
yo, I'll tell you this about Cam. I rock with Cam, was never a big Dip fan. But yo, I don't know if y'all follow the Heat Makers on Instagram. The stuff they cooking up for the Diplomats, yo, I can't wait to hear that album.
Okay, so they back with the Heat Makers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check out their IG page, man. Like, Jim Jones got some joints on there. I never was a fan of Jim. This dude was like, he had a hip hop quotable of the day for me one day on Twitter. Like, this dude said something like, I was in the movie, show you a bunch of clips, something we like, in the, you know, the Heat Makers got them bangers. So yeah. Quiet as kept. Like, I'm like, damn, when this Diplomat album coming out? Like, so yeah, them beats is crazy. But yeah, check that. Nick, who you got for 2004?
2004, I'm gonna dip to the underground and give it to MF Doom. And I'm not the biggest MF Doom fan, but this was the Mad Villainy album with Mad Lib.
Yeah,
you know, like some mad scientists, the all caps, rhinestone cowboy, the fancy clown, and all that. Accordion, of course. I love Cam though. Purple Haze, I forgot that came out in 2004, but I would give it to Doom for that Mad Villainy.
Yeah, I'm just like you. Was never a big Doom fan, but I love that album.
Yeah,
like
that was crazy. Yeah.
Burn, who you got for 04?
I had Kanye West, College Dropout, because that's one of my all-time favorites. Like I said, he brought back the feeling of De La, but I mean not De La, but Tribe. But I'm gonna go with De La's Grind Date. Well, you said no groups though, so take that back. So it is gonna be Kanye, College Dropout.
Yo, what did you think about the bootleg version, the OG version I sent you?
I had heard them joints before, because back then, bro, when that album came out, I was looking for everything Kanye. Because again, to me, he took it back to that golden era. I mean, and he was hungry and more humble, if that's possible. So, yeah.
I feel you. And same for me, College Dropout. I had the bootleg version that wasn't what came out the retail. I never forget. I was in Ben's Chili Bowl in DC with Wifey, and bootleg dude walked in. I was like, "Yo, you got that Kanye?" He was like, "Yep, dog, that was it." And this says, I forgot, Nick, which show we was on, and you were saying I couldn't use the bootleg version or whatever like that. But I never even.
Was the bootleg version that had the one with ODB on it?
Yeah, we don't want to hear that week no more.
Yeah.
That one got the original.
Good, Bad, and Ugly was on there.
All falls down.
Yeah.
So that joint, even the workout was different than the one that. I like that, and like the joint with Common and Talib wasn't on this joint or whatever like that. But to me, it was a dope album. What I loved about Kanye was I felt like he was bringing back, to me at least, the fun in hip hop. And what I mean by that is everybody didn't have to be this lyrical assassin. You know, Like he took me back to the days of Kwame and Kid and Play, where you can have a fun track like the workout plan, like you know what I mean. And you can kind of have fun with hip hop, like slow jams. Like he was making music that reminded me of the hip hop that I grew up on, where everything wasn't about guns and shooting, killing, and how hard you are. You can look at Kanye and tell this nigga ain't never been in no fight or nothing like that. But he was still cool. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of those things where you had to turn a dead eye to him because it's like, nah, this dude ain't hood enough. So I felt like he kind of ushered in this era for it to be your chance to rap with J. Cole.
Yeah, you're right. I actually like that last joint too, when he told the story of how he got signed, man. I mean, that's that. I like backstories and you know, I'm a liner note type cat. So to hear what, you know, how he ended up on Rockefeller and all that stuff, it was really dope to me too.
Yeah. And then to me, I love the story of just when you work for a label and they don't even want to sign you. You know what I mean? Like shut up and make the beats. Like, you know, you can rap, you know? Like, yo, he had to come out of pocket to shoot the Through the Wire video himself. And, you know, to me, it was just about having that belief in yourself and just, you know, being able to do what he did. So that's 2004. 2005, what you got, Vag?
2005, I got Common.
B. Yep.
Mainly and solely off the strength of B, and the Food on when it debuted on Dave Chappelle, and not only was we already hyped because Dave Chappelle's show was so fucking good, it was like having a better version of Arsenio Hall's show back, because you know, you knew his musical acts were mostly going to be hip hop, or at least something grounded in the fundamentals of hip hop, or even the fundamentals of soul. You know, you felt like people who were getting, you know, or wouldn't get as much attention on one of those late night shows back then was getting on Dave Chappelle. But this was like the first time us seeing Common, like no sweater hats. No corduroy,
no crochet,
no corduroy fucking jackets and shit. None of that ass wolves, anything. Just straight Common rapping the way he used to rap. Kanye, like basically being the best mascot ever of like, fuck that, you could do this. Like B, even though it's probably not my favorite Common album of all time. Out of all his albums, that's One Day It All Makes Sense. But I think it was a part nostalgia, part like homecoming, and part of the fact that him and Kanye they meshed so well with his lyrics and Kanye's beats. And I could tell that some of those beats, the variety, I could tell that was more like Kanye, like, yo, okay, do this. And do this track, and then do this kind of track, because I think as a whole album though, it just comes together as a bunch of songs. It doesn't flow like an album, but nobody cared at that time. We were just happy. There wasn't no like album cover where this nigga looked like he the wizard of the Wiz and shit. Like it was just like, yo, it's the Common we know and love. None of this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, Common. I give him the whole year just because of that, man. Comeback story for Common.
No doubt. Nick, who you got?
I got Kanye for Late Registration.
Okay.
This was last Ye album with the whack skits. I always hated his skits. But like production wise, he like took it to another level from where he was at on College Dropout. Like 2000s, like the 90s, I know song titles, sequencing. I'm bad with song titles, but he had the joint with Paul Wall that I like.
Rob Sloan.
There we go. Yeah. He had the joint with Common, not Common. It was Cameron and Consequence.
Yeah.
That shit was hot. Then he had the joint with Nas. I remember he had Nas and Jay-Z on the same album when they was beefing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Late Registration. 2005, I give it to, and also because he produced Common's album that got him back in. So I'll give that to Kanye for that year.
That crack music was crazy, man. I just used those drums like last week for a beat, man. I remember being like those drums. Crazy. Yeah, I definitely feel you. Vern, who you got for 05?
The great minds thinking like I had the B and the late registration, so I'm gonna pick a third one. But just let me say, B, my goodness, I love that beat. The song, actual song B, is short. It's kind of like a theme or an anthem or something. I love the verse, waiting for the Lord to rise and look into my daughter's eyes and realize I'm gonna run through her. And that happens a lot with me and my daughter. Y'all know how I feel about her, so I won't go there. But I'm gonna go with, since y'all took the other two that I had, I'm gonna go with the Little Brother, the Minstrel Show.
Okay.
Because that was really my introduction into Little Brother, and then I went back. I like, just for some things that you said, Kill, they didn't take themselves too seriously. There was like Percy Miracle and Fontaine kind of clowning R&B, because it's like that's really how these fools sounding right now. The Becoming, Cheating, How to Place Him in Elzai, Murk the track, Slow It Down was cool, say it again. Loving It, of course, that's a joint. Sincerely Yours. It still lives through. They kind of paid homage to a Tribe Called Quest. So because y'all took the other two that I had, I'm just putting the Minstrel Show out there.
All right. And for me, I'm gonna go with the B joint, man. I love this album. It's not my personal favorite Calm album like Vegas. That's One Day It'll All Make Sense. But if I had to say, his dopest album, I would probably say this joint. I mean, same reason Vegas said, I remember watching the Chappelle Show and just seeing the food live. I remember for a while, I don't know if you remember on OK Player, the original joint, they had the studio version of it.
Yeah.
Everybody on the board was like, nah, that's get
exactly.
that.
Get that Chappelle Show. Exactly.
So that's how that ended up being on the album, because the original album was going to be the food from the studio, but it was it just didn't have none of that energy that was on here. And to me, I don't know, maybe we'll do a show about that, bounce back albums from a whack album. I know you like Electric Circus, Nick, but to me, this was...
I get it. That's about that. Yeah.
That was his Lazarus album. He resurrected himself, because I was done with it. Yeah.
Yo, I mean, when I heard The Corner, I was like, damn, okay, this dude may come with it. And even I remember reading in the Scratch magazine, and Ye was talking about, like, it seemed like they were hanging out making this album, because I remember him saying they came from seeing Ray, and then they went straight to the studio because they was hype, and they made Go that night. You know what I mean? Just the joints that was on here. I mean, Go was so dope. Faithful
was on there.
Yeah.
The joint at the end that Dilla did.
Yeah.
How Beautiful Love Can Be. Yeah.
Drum programming on Faithful. And then I would love how they would kind of turn the MP off and let John just take the keys. And, you got John Legend and Bilal going back and forth on that joint. Testify was a dope story. Love the joint, the Shy City, the food. The only joint I didn't love was Real People. Like, I could take it, but it wasn't one of my favorites. But yeah, and then It's Your World. I love the whole. So yeah, 2004. 2005. Commons B. Veg, who you got in 2006, man?
All right, 2006 is very difficult because I don't think any one person stood out. On Complex, they had Lil Wayne. I know a lot of people really like that Carter too. I kind of came to a little bit later. Part of me wanted to say Lupe Fiasco with Food and Liquor because I really like that album. It took me a minute to really adjust to his flowing style, but I'm gonna go with somebody who probably didn't rule 2006, but he definitely had a lot of records on the radio. A lot of people respected it from a commercial audience to an underground audience. That's Busta Rhymes. Because that was the year he released the Big Bang, and that was the Aftermath album that I thought wasn't ever coming out because Rakim to Eve to everybody has never really come out when they working on some stuff. And I there's not one Busta Rhymes album that I own or that came out where I felt like I like almost every record on it. Like with Busta albums, I tend to skip certain records and really, really love others. But this was one where Busta had the Rao joints that was dope. He had the I Love My Chick joints where he kind of get a little bit mellow. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple of bar joints, like the one with him and Q-Tip. I think it's called Pass the Torch.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Dilla.
my God. I mean, like it's records like that where I know, Kill, you said you did this before, but I feel like there's so many records like that record that go underappreciated in hip hop because, you know, time passes and we just forget about them. You know what I'm saying? If you're not listening to them. But just like what they were saying, like that hook, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just an album where it was something for everybody. I mean, he had everybody on. He did Rick James' Ghetto Over, which I would have been upset if it was terrible, but it wasn't. Because I love Rick James' Ghetto Life joint. I just love that shit. If I was back then, Rick James would have probably been my Steve. But yeah, man, I guess I got to give it to Busta, man. Even the Will I Am joints, and well, I love my shit with Will I Am. New York-ish, you know, DJ Scratch on the beat. Just crazy stuff that Busta was saying, man. It was just like, I don't know who was writing everything. I know some of the production, but all I know is
who was writing everything? Don't tell me Busta got ghostwriters.
All right, Kill. Let me. Now this, some of it I know. But
Vegas, man.
But look. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Look at Leaders of the New School, Busta, right? You know, like early '90s rhyme style, right? Then look at the Flavor in Your Air remix, Busta, when we was getting to that point where we don't know what he's saying. When you look at a song like New York-ish and the way he got them bars, Busta ain't never wrote like that. He ain't never been that nice. Now,
tell me this, bro. Is this an opinion, or do you have some type of, at least a story or a rumor to go with this?
Remember it's always the dudes who you don't really like are the ones writing the bars. Remember Baby Shan?
Yeah, is it Baby Shan?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid from Queens. Yeah.
These dudes were writing for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never, like, Busta at some point got lyrical out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Not flow lyrical, but really deep. Like, damn, Busta kind of said some shit. Just like Lil Wayne. And what happened when Lil Wayne when he stopped rhyming like Missy, like he used to do when he was with the Hot Boys, it all came out that, he had some ghostwriters help him, get his flow together. I can't say they wrote everything.
Thank you.
What's the Fat Boys breakup? Not this. Ain't nothing.
Okay, thank you, baby. Thank you, Revo.
Wait, hold up. Y'all really thought Busta got better?
I never thought of it.
I did.
I never thought about it like that. So did Rock Marcy ever write for him? Because he was in the camp for a while.
He could have.
Around the Anarchy album.
He could have. I don't know everything that everybody wrote, but Busta's limit as far as rhyming skills was basic. You know what I'm saying? And that it was the basic rhymes, and then it was the wild shit. When you hear him getting like really busy and intricate, that wasn't him.
I can see Rampage right. Like, if you listen to what Rampage used to be saying, he just couldn't flow like Busta.
Yeah.
But what he was saying, so I can actually see that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So Nick, who you got for
2006? I forgot about the Busta album. I gave it to Ghostface for Fish Scale. The Shaky Dog joint. She had like Mad Lib, Pete Rock, Dilla was on that album.
Was Kilo on there?
Yeah. Kilo. Yep. That was on there.
Again, the bootleg version had a better Kilo than the Kilo that ended. Yo, I just need somebody who got the vaults of all the bootlegs because there are so much better songs. Yeah, like
a lot of sample issues
that ended up on that album was not the same Kilo as the joint that they had that was stupid.
And
Nick, you know when I hit, go ahead, man.
The Just Blaze joint, what was it, the Champ or something?
Yeah.
Like,
when they were using,
the sample version was better than what was on the album. Yeah.
They used some other cats
the Club of Lane
sound like Mr. T instead of the Mr. T joint.
All right. I'm still stuck on this Busta shit, man. I don't know about this relationship, man, because all you do is come on here.
All I do is tell the truth. That's it.
And sometimes the truth is better left unknown, man. I I come from the school of Darius Love Hall. Don't ask if you don't want to know the question. That's what I'm.
Come on, Kill. Keep putting your teeth under the pillow, man. The tooth fairy coming, bro.
I'll bust the rhyme. All right, Vern, who you got for 2006?
I'm gonna go with Lupe, man. The food and liquor joint. Again, he was to me carrying on that torch, that golden era torch. And one of my favorite wordplay songs of all time, It Just Might Be Okay. He just destroyed that song, man.
Danced on that joint.
Oh my goodness, yes he did. You know, I Got You, Daydream with Jill Scott, Pressure. I think he was in the zone on that one. So I'm going with Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor. But then he lost his mind. So
yeah, I'm going with Veg on the Big Bang. I'm just looking at the track list and Get You Some with Tip. The way that beat come in, them snares, the Touch It with Swiss was crazy.
Yeah.
New York shit was crazy. Been Through the Storm with Stevie. When I see Stevie Wonder, I'm like, nigga got Stevie Wonder. That was dope.
That shit worked though, yeah.
That was dope. Cocaine was dope, man. With Marsham, Torch. I mean, it was just joints on here, and I think a lot of people didn't hear the album. You know, probably just on some old whatever. Yeah. But to me, it's a very, very, very slept on album, and it, like Veg said, it kept everybody happy because New York shit was everywhere. I remember being in Baltimore. They had every state had a song, fill in the blank shit, of them doing everything for their city and everything like that. So yeah, that was dope. My only beef with it was, and again, it's real no beef, but Scratch getting the credit for that when it's just the loop that Diamond had back off of his album. One of the things I always loved about a lot of people don't like Shorty, Alicia Keys, but one of the things I really respected about her that she did on the Diary was she did Gladys Knight, If I Was Your Woman, over the Warning beat, but instead she went and got Mo B to do the beat. You know what I mean? Instead of doing some old track masters, kind of like how what they did with J-Lo from the Block, like they jacked the beat nuts for Watch Out. Yeah. The beat nuts like, yo, J-Lo, let a nigga live. Like, you want the beat, let us. Why you play to the track masters and do the same beat that we already did? So I really respect the Keys for that. So I just thought it would have been dope for Busta to be like, yeah, that's dope, but let's bring Diamond in because that shit is his loop or whatever. But that's just the producer and me. 2007, Veg, who you got?
2007, I got Kanye West. Mainly because of Graduation album. Probably my favorite Kanye album of them all, really close with the one that came after that. But I felt like Kanye really like he had already been doing a lot at that point, but I think he really became not necessarily the Kanye we know today as far as the antics, but the status. Because that Graduation album kind of showed that he had staying power. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the first album was cool, was kind of trendy. A lot of people like Late Registration, including myself. But I felt like Graduation was when he had that balance of a commercial sound mixed with a hardcore sound. And lyrically, he was on point. Like, a song like Big Brother, what rapper would do that?
Toot killed that track.
Yeah, man.
What rapper would make that kind of record?
Yeah.
Like really being vulnerable with his lyrics compared to another MC and a colleague and a friend, at the same time. And the simple fact that leading up to the album, they tried to do this campaign of, 50's dropping, Kanye's dropping. And 50 had I Get Money. So it was kind of like, I think the comeback is in full swing for 50. And I remember telling people as they were like gearing up, I was like, I don't think 50 gonna win because Kanye can give you that same feeling that 50's giving you without the gangster, and he can go do different things. And I think Graduation did that in a lot of ways, like flashing lights. For the longest time, Good Morning was my alarm clock. like soon as that beat dropped, like I wouldn't wait till he said good morning because I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to go back to sleep. But like, he just had so many records on there. Even the joint he had with Lil Wayne on there. Damn, what was that?
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, the Barry Bonds.
They smacked that.
Who was that? Knots? Who did that beat?
That's
Was it
not.
Knots?
I think so. Yeah.
That nigga there, boy.
But yeah, man, just like perfect hooks. You know what I'm saying? Just not like a lot of what happens now is dudes waste a lot of time on records, like on albums, period. Like, I know we don't really bring up these dudes, but just the simple fact that Migos got like 20 songs on the record,
Yeah,
even
man,
their
it's
own
like
fans are like, yo,
overkill.
man, really? That's too much.
Yeah.
But
That's a
with
chore to
Kanye,
listen to.
He doesn't wait. He tries not to waste time on any record, whether you like it or not. And I felt like Graduation was just like perfect cover, perfect title, perfect sound. Kanye just was moving up, and it didn't matter if he was writing his lyrics or making the beats. It just didn't matter at some point. So I got Kanye for 2007.
All right. Nick, who you got?
Same thing. I would consider that Ye's magnum opus. My favorite song, Can't Tell Me Nothing. That's like my favorite Kanye song, period. Where he dropped the line, "Don't ever fix your lips like collagen and say something when you're gonna end up apologizing." That's my favorite Kanye line. Like that. Yeah, that album is damn near perfect. Like, because that's the first album where he took the skits off. And like Vague said, he kept it short and concise. It was like 12, 13 tracks.
Yeah.
You just play it pretty, except for Drunken Hot Girls. But other than that,
yeah, man. I mean,
you could play it all the way through.
All right, no doubt, bro.
I had Graduation as well, and I would just say my favorite joint on that. I love the production on Flashing Lights and the singing and everything together. That was dope. But since y'all both went there, I'm gonna go with Eric Roberson, Left.
Okay.
This is one of the most thorough soul R&B albums that I've ever heard, man. You got Fonte rhyming on the joint. You got a duet with Algebra Blessed. James Poyser does some stuff on here. Kev Brown. To me, Eric Roberson is a guy. He loves hip hop, but he's a singer. So the flow of how he sings, it comes in a rhyming style. If you ever go see him in concert, he'll freestyle for 10, 15 minutes. Not like Black Thought, but he can go. So if you haven't heard that Eric Roberson Left, that would be mine. I still play this mug all the time. Like I said, from cover to cover, it's dope.
All right. No doubt.
I also had a runner-up for 2007. There's LP. Y'all know him from Run the Jewels. But he had an album called I'll Sleep When You're Dead. That was tight for me. 2007 runner-up.
No doubt. I gotta throw the spade out there. I gotta go with Jay's American Gangster.
Okay.
The time that I had said, "Fuck Jay's," after that Kingdom Come, and after whatever came after all them Blueprints 2s and 2.5 and everything, I was done. And then, word got the air, and it was like, "Yo, Jay doing an album, kind of like a soundtrack to Denzel movie about." Drugs. And I was like, oh, Jay talking about drugs again? Like, okay. And because I just feel like that's his lane. Like, I know Jay can do the club songs and everything, but I just feel like when he's talking about drugs, like, if I came to find out Jay never sold drugs, I'd be like, well, then that nigga is a hell of a, because this dude talks about selling drugs, like, to the best of his ability. And then to me, it was the same thing with the Blueprint. He got with two young, hungry producers, you know what I mean? Who Puff basically raped, I heard, for all they publishing. But it got, God, I can't believe I forgot the dude's name. It was, Y'all, nobody can help. Nobody knows who's producing.
I'm looking for this. I'm looking for my CD cover now.
So which one? What song are you talking about?
They did. Sean C and LV. My bad.
Yeah.
I need to get glasses, and y'all see the liner notes so damn tiny. I can't even read liner notes no more. But yeah, Sean C and LV. And I forgot which one of them did like "Can't Stop the Hustle, Can't Knock the Hustle" way back in the day. But two hungry producers. I loved all the soulfulness of it. Like I said, this may be my second favorite Jay album. I mean, I always used to say Blueprint, but if I ever reach for an album, I always reach for this.
It's top 5 for sure.
You know what I mean? So,
Say Hi to the Bad Guy was done by Toon. Gotta get an 8. The 8 price.
Yeah, because Toom did Big Brother on Kanye.
Yeah.
I loved all the beats on here, and then No ID killed it with the
Oh yeah, the what Nas joint.
That's with Nas.
I like the joint he did with Beans too.
That was the joint that I was like, this is the Nas J thing.
Exactly.
Like, it wasn't that Black Republican. That was that success. You know, Google Earth Nas. I got flats in different continents. Like, you know, best friends want to be my best enemies. Like, that's what's in. You know, because I always shot at Jay. Like, you know,
on his own record.
Friend, yeah, like that's what's in. So yeah, I gotta go with Jay with that. 2008, Veg, what you got?
2008, I got a dude who I never thought I would put him down here, but I cannot front. I was all over the album. I was all over the mixtapes. I was just liking everything. That's Lil Wayne, man. 2008.
Carter 3.
Carter 3.
Yeah.
Millie. Dedication mixtapes with drama. Honestly, like I never really. I always liked Wayne from the Hot Boys because I always kind of liked his flow and his energy, but I never liked him enough to buy an album. And I remember coming to the Carter 2 a little bit late, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. But then when I found out, what's his name was writing for him, it kind of took some stuff away because I'm thinking, hey, Lil Wayne just got better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that unlike most people who have ghostwriters, I think Lil Wayne learned how to write that way. And I think around 2008, I don't know for sure, but it doesn't matter. I think he kind of mastered, another style of rhyming. And Millie is just one of the most swag-filled records I ever heard in my life, and I love every minute of it. Like, I love the carelessness of the video. Like, the video just meant nothing. The video was basically a video of behind the scenes of a video. That's basically what it was. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't subscribe to all that. He's better than Jay-Z. He's the best rapper ever, or he's the best rapper right now. But I did feel like, as far as the hottest rapper and, as far as putting out records that people can respond to in a lot of ways, still was having some shaky lines or whatever. But there are a lot of people who we love who had some really shaky lines that I'm not going to name because I'm going to hurt people's feelings. But I'll name the people. Biggie, Guru, you know what I'm saying? They got some lines where I'm like, it's really lazy. But I can give Lil Wayne a pass because he ain't the only one. But I just felt like in 2008, he was doing it on a number of levels. And, I was impressed, to be honest. I mean, I bought the Carter 3. I know a lot of people who love the Carter 1 and 2 really don't like that album. But for me, it connected. What's the joint about the police, lady cops and shit like that? What was that joint?
That was the joint. Oh, that was the one with Robin Thicke, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that on Robin Thicke? Yeah.
Yeah, that joint. What's the other one? Make the Beat, whatever the hell. I can't remember. It's late. But he just had a lot of dope records on there, a lot of collaborations with producers. I love the record with him and Babyface. Big time. And I was like, Babyface on a Lil Wayne album? What the hell does this sound like? But it was, it's pretty smooth. It was in that, that LL lane. So for 08, I would give it to Lil Wayne.
All right, no doubt. Nick, who you got for 08?
Same. Like 08 was one of those years I couldn't think of nothing. And so just off of the magnitude that the Carter 3 had over that year, I gave it to Lil Wayne.
All right, no doubt. Vern, who you got?
All right, like you said, I was grasping for straws on hip hop. So, Foreign Exchange, man, Leave It All Behind. That's my favorite Foreign Exchange album. That's, like I said, I was at Barnes and Nobles and I heard something. I'm like, man, who is that? And I was like, that's Foreign Exchange. I'm like, okay. So I bought the CD, and then one day I was watching the video, saw a dude two-step, and I was like, man, that's Fonte from Little Brother. And I mean, that album introduced me to one of my all-time favorite female singers, Musina. It has some dope collabs. That album, if you were stranded on the island and you could only pick like 5 albums, that's gonna be one of them for me.
Okay.
That sounds a lot good, brother. 2008, I'm gonna go with something that everybody hates, but I love the album, man. It must be like this Man in the Woods Justin album. I'm going with Kanye's 808 and Heartbreaks, man. I love it. Album.
Afro Shag, yay, man.
Yeah,
right.
You know what my
PV Herman suit, yay.
But what I loved about this album is I knew that we were going to get, an open Kanye, and that's what I always loved about Ye. His mom passed, so I just felt like he's going to talk about stuff on this album. So I know I forgot. Let me pull the track.
No, I like Paranoid and Streetlights. I know I like those two.
Amazing with Jeezy.
Yeah.
Say You Will. I always tell people Sade was singing over that beat. Cats would have been losing their damn minds. But damn rap albums got damn posters in them. Where are the damn credits?
I wish Sade was singing over
Give
that.
Kid Cudi.
I know that's what I was gonna say.
His props.
But Welcome to Heartbreak, you know what I mean? I was like, I dug what he was saying. Like, people showing me pictures of their kids, or I can show pictures of my cribs. Like, I always felt like, and I think that's the thing. Like, to me, dude, I love that music that reflects. One of my favorite albums is Lenny Kravitz's Mama Said, where he's singing his heart out to get Lisa Bonet back from cheating with Madonna. And it's like, I've just always loved those albums. So I kind of felt like, not in no way I'm saying this Mama Said, but I'm just saying that, just him talking about things more and more. So I think for me, I kind of pushed past the auto-tune. Because the thing about Ye is he always seemed like he wanted to sing. Like, 10 days.
That's true.
He always wanted to sing, but he can't sing. So, But, yeah, I know I'm by myself with this. But See You in My Nightmares with Lil Wayne, Cold This Winter. Joints I rocked on here. So I know I'm the odd man out with that. But that was 2008 for me. 2009, Veg, what you got?
2009, I got Drake. So Far Gone mixtape. This around this time, 2009. I'm already here in Jersey, but I'm trying to keep my ear to the street. I'm doing things on the internet, and like my nieces are a little bit grown, so they coming around the house. And I knew of Drake by seeing a photo of him. But I didn't know what records he did, and they were talking about him. They was talking about this mixtape he put out, and at first it caught me off guard because I'm like, this nigga singing, like what I'm saying, and I was like, oh, okay, well maybe he's an R&B dude, but then I heard him rapping also, and I not that I was blown away by his raps, but I was blown away by the fact that typically when a dude was, at least how I saw him when I first heard him singing, when the dudes looked at a dude that can sing, usually can't rap. Or if he can rap, he usually can't really sing. And this was like Fonte was there, but he didn't kind of have that eye because Fonte could sing and he could rap. But I was just shocked that, this dude sounds so good. And he kind of reminded me when he rhymed, a little bit of Kanye. Like I said, a lot of those cats kind of came from Kanye and what he did early on, like his whole style and the way he approached lyrics. But Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, successful. Even his version of Ignorant Shit was a little dope. Best I Ever Had. I love this record to this day. Just so many joints that, I would look at as being like classic, and they were just like on a mixtape. He didn't even have a debut album yet. Obviously, eventually he did. He kind of helped to usher in that whole Young Money movement early on when they were really hot, when Lil Wayne was hot also. And I just kind of felt like, even though Kanye was still big, probably the biggest at that time, even with 808s and Heartbreaks, I felt like Drake was moving up, and I started feeling like now a younger generation is gonna start taking over because this dude is coming out of nowhere, and he's getting spins like crazy. So I would give that year to Drake.
All right, that's what's up. What you got, Nick?
Most Def, The Ecstatic. That was like a return to rap for him because he had in between Black on Both Sides and that album, he gave us the new Danger, and I forgot the other joint he just kind of threw out with no cover. So this was Most getting back to rapping over Mad Lib production. Oh no, Mad Lib's younger brother did some beats on there. He had the joint with Slick Rick that was banging.
Yeah.
But Drake though, I can't even front. Like, shit, probably since 2009, Drake kind of owned rap.
Man, that dude is talented, man.
We can be mad, but
yeah.
I ain't never seen nobody hold a game this long.
Yeah.
You talk about it for almost a full decade now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can give him that, man. That nigga.
Full decade. I mean, I'll give Kendrick 2 years, maybe.
I mean, but
2 years.
Drake is that to me he's more of a singer. Like if Drake didn't sing, I don't know if he still owns rap. You know, and that's the thing. By you singing, can you own rap? Like if I'm a rapper, I can't own R&B. You know what I mean? Like
I think he rap enough. I think the rap ratio, the rap to singing ratio, I don't know.
Yeah, see, to me, like to own rap, you gotta. I don't know. That may be a good show because I'm thinking you gotta.
I see some Jan Sport straps coming across your shoulders right now, man. I'll joking, big homie.
I'm just saying that you gotta also. And again, Drake is nice. I mean, I'm with Vague. The funny thing about Drake in this album is not my choice, but this, I wasn't listening to Drake, and Bezo gonna get mad at me because I'm gonna say this shit, but it's how I feel. I just felt like light-skinned people couldn't rhyme. You know what I mean? And, it's gonna sound ignorant, but that's just, I didn't know at that time the only light-skinned dude I knew who rhymed was Kid. LL Cool J is not light-skinned. Okay, like, I've been in arguments with people like LL's light skin. I'm like, no, that nigga's not light skin.
Light skin. Okay.
Guru's light skin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Guru light skin.
See,
you don't like Guru?
Ain't light skin to me. Light skin is Kid.
Kid. Okay, high yellow.
Oh, you talking about high yellow?
High yellow.
High yellow trying to.
High.
I have not no high yellow people spit rhymes like that, except Heavy D. God bless the dead was Hev. You know what I mean? So when I saw Drake, and again, this can be my ignorant self coming out. I'm like, this nigga light skin, he can't rhyme. But people told me about him. It was like, I had people in church telling me about Drake. I had drug dealers telling me about Drake. I had little kids telling me about Drake. I was like, I gotta hear this dude because too many people. And I love that mixtape. I mean, dude is nice. I just don't know if I could say he runs rap because I don't know if he comes out with rap albums per se. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's just me. So
I got you.
Vern, who you got up?
Man, I'm grasping for straws, so I'm not gonna even throw out what I got down on this paper. So I'm gonna pass.
I want to know what you got on the paper now.
Ryan Leslie's album, bro. I mean,
okay, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, I don't want to be disingenuous. I mean, I like several joints on his album, but I mean, it was lean for me.
All right, no doubt. I'm gonna go with my man, the Ray, the only built for Cuban links too, man. This is another bounce back album. I always hate it because rappers do this. Rappers come out with great music, then they do subpar music, and then when they want to get you back, they always rename it after.
Part 2. Yeah.
Right, it's Part 2. Like Ghost now coming out with Supreme Clientele Part 2. Red coming out with I forgot what it is.
Muddy Waters 2. Yeah, it's like
Muddy Waters. And to me, they never even come close to living up to the hype. Whereas this joint, this just had too many songs. This had like 22 songs. I think if they would have got this down to like 14, 5 months, because House of the Flyer, Daggers, Sonny's missing, Pyrex Vision, New Woo was crazy. So I had to go with Ray on this joint because I really thought he was dead in the water. I was like, I'll bite. But yeah, I give it to Ray for 2009. 2010, Vague, who you got?
Got Kanye West again. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
It's looking like Ye kind of running rap now, man. We Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, 808s kind of cancel them out, right? No rapping on that one.
I don't
Yeah,
well.
no
I guess,
rap whatsoever.
I guess you're right.
Fucking crooning. But yeah, man, this album, like I just was highly impressed by this album, man. Like, again, I don't know all the behind the scenes production wise or whatever, but I know what Kanye, he supervises his albums, whether it's him or whatever. He goes and reaches out to other producers and other people who are doing things that he admires to help fine tune his sound. And this album is literally like a piece of art when it comes to production, from just seamlessly being put together as far as the track listing, the different inspirations and sounds. And the crazy thing is, you know, a lot of times when we throw around the word hip hop and rap, you know, we're gonna all instantly think of something hard, you know what I'm saying, when we say that. Pause. But the thing is with this with this album, I don't even say pause, but I was like, all right, young people. Yeah. I thought about it, yeah, pause. But you know, like, for what he wanted to do with Life of Pablo, he already did it with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Was basically making an album that represented, you know, a painting, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Even the videos, just, you know, I'm one who stopped watching videos a long time ago. But I'll watch your videos if they're really creative, or if they're creative in a way where maybe something's going on and I don't know what it is, but it's intriguing for me to watch. And it's like, okay, it's bird feathers flying everywhere and ballerinas and dinner table, and he dressed like Benson. Now he's standing in the corner. Now he's standing next to the table. You know what I'm saying? There's a record player just sitting next to the table for no reason whatsoever. Like, I like shit like that, because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? I just find it interesting. But I just felt like he took, you know, artwork and fashion and kind of found a way to pour it into the beats and not compromise a hip hop sound. It still had a lot of, you know, it had some tough joints on there, like Monster. I really love the track on there. No, Nicki didn't have the best verse. It was just, her verse was cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who had the best verse, to be honest. Maybe Kanye did. But I just kind of felt like, you know, as an album, if Graduation was kind of him arriving, this was his peak. You know what I'm saying? To me, as far as skill level from a producer side and from a rapper side, all those things we liked about those other albums were all here, or weren't blatant. They were all mixed into a nice blend of great music, man. So I got Kanye down for what year was that?
2010. Yeah.
2010.
All right, Nick, who you got?
Same thing. I can't even add on to that. Other than, like, he had the what was the series he had? He was like releasing tracks every week.
Oh, that even Friday. It was
even
good.
Them shits was banging.
Yeah.
Like, even them, like, some of them made them to the album, some didn't. But even them shits was banging. Like, Kanye was just on point that year.
Yeah, no doubt. Vern, who you got?
Pass.
All right, cool. Same with me. It's Ye. To me, this CD, this is like a piece of art in itself. Like,
the artwork, because they had like the slide-in covers.
Yeah, with the slide-in covers, with it's just I like presentation. You know, what I mean? Something Chance said on one of his last albums. Does anybody care about cover art? Well, really, that little Yachty Target weirdo nigga said it, but I agree with him. Dude, we care about cover art before. Like, I just feel like cats get Photoshop and use same font or whatever. But neither here nor there. I love the album. Like Vegas said, the way it's put together. I remember seeing some behind the scene footage. And they were just in Hawaii, you know, and Ye was like, had them on a regiment. Like, yo, we get up, we hoop, we eat lunch, we do this, and we go to the studio. You know what I mean? And he had signs up around the studio, like no tweeting, no social media, no nothing. I always say this, man. Amber Rose was around during that album, and I'm one of those people who am a big believer in the people who you have around you help shape your music. I don't think he could get Amber back now, because Amber been with everybody, you know, now. But I knew when he got with Kim, it was going downhill for the music. You know what I mean? Same way when they got with Jermaine Dupri, I was like, nah, that ain't going down. You know, so I just love how this album was put together. It has one of my favorite songs on it, "Devil in the New Dress" by
Bink.
Yeah, Bink. And you know, the Blame Game. I love Chris Rock on there. Like Yeezy Talk. Yeezy Talk. Yo.
Yeah. Yeezy taught me. Yeah.
It's hilarious, man. You know, and again, it's just the vulnerability of Kanye to just talk about that. Like, I feel like everything he's saying probably true. Like, yo, I overheard you and your brother on the phone and this and that and, you know, everything like that. So I got yay on that. We getting short on time, so let's try to speed through these joints. We may not be able to get a whole explanation, but 2011, Veg, who you got?
Drake again. I got
Take
Drake
Care.
Because Take Care is probably my favorite Drake album. Probably the least hip hop album. Well, actually, that was probably the point where he started doing more singing type records, but I just love the production on it. I felt like he was trying to chase what Kanye did, but in his way. And he leaned heavy on house music, but it didn't sound dated. You know what I'm saying? It was just perfect, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that Take Care album and everything Drake was doing around that time, that was probably his peak. So yeah, man, for 2011 I got Drake.
And I think I dig what you're saying on the Chasing the Ye, because I know Ye directed the video for
Marvin's Room.
Nah, he directed the video for that first song. What was the first song off the mixtape that you just said?
Off of Take Care?
Nah, not Take Care, the mixtape before, the year before. You had just
With the So Far Gone joint?
Yeah, So Far Gone. What was he had a single on that, was a video. Nah, it was a basketball game.
Houston. Oh, you talking about Best I Ever Had?
Yeah, Best I Ever Had. Ye did that video. But I think, like I was saying, I think Ye kind of ushered in all the Drakes and all these didn't have to be tough. So yeah, I definitely feel you with him chasing Ye. Nick, who you got?
Is it fair to give it to Jay and Kanye for Watch the Throne, or is that not?
Nah, you can give it to Jay and Kanye.
Yeah, I may be in the minority, but I love that album. I loved it. Rich nigga rap. I liked it.
All right, cool. Vern, what's up with you?
I'm going Fonte. Charity Starts at Home.
Great album.
Yeah. Ball and Chain. We Go Off with him and Munch. Elzai, Not Here Anymore. Big Crit. Eric Roberson got a joint on there. Cy Smith is one of my favorite soul singers. So yeah, I'm going with Charity Starts at Home. Fonte.
All right, no doubt. I got to go with Pharoah Monch War joint. You know what I mean? I love that joint. Pharoah, the Sade of hip hop, puts out an album like every 10 years.
Once a decade, yeah.
Decade, basically. But yeah, I got to go with the War joint. 2012. I think I know what most people gonna have, but Veg, who you got?
I don't have it because again I had the Rush's list and I did it since '79. You might have to skip me.
All right, no doubt. Nick, who you got?
Kung Fu Kenny. You already know. Good Kid, Mad City.
I thought that was 2013. That's 2012.
2012.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why.
Yeah, all right, no doubt. Vern, who you got?
Well, I had Kung Fu Kenny, but I'm gonna go, put some soul in here. Robert Glasper's Black Radio. That mother is so dope. You got Lupe on there, Badu on there, my girl Layla Hathaway on there, Music Soul Child and Chrisette Michelle Indiacello, Stokely, the group King. That's a dope album. Yeah. So
even the remix EP he did for that one was tight.
Yeah.
All right, no doubt. I got 2012. Of course, Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. Love the album. Love how it was put together, like a day in the life of a kid in Compton. Even love the skits with his pop with the dominoes and everything. So definitely going with Kendrick. 2013. Veg, you got something?
Nah, man. I had Kendrick down for Good Kid. I thought it was 13.
All right, no doubt. Nick, who you got?
Light-skinned niggas can't rap. I'm going with Drake. Canada Dry. Nothing was the same. Like, I actually like that. I might be in the minority. I like that. I like Take Care too. But I like Nothing Was the Same. Yeah.
All right, so I'm following Nick again. I go with Drake.
Yo, and here's the thing. Before anybody get mad at me about the light skin comments, say that shit for Kobe.
We know.
No, I'm just saying. confused, but Kobe said the same thing about Jordan Clarkson. Now he had to start going to the whole like a dark skin niggas. Kobe box up too because of that. I'm the only person who say stuff. Bro, who you got, man?
I have no one.
All right. I gotta go with my man out of VA, Pusha T. My Name Is My Name. I love that album.
Oh,
man.
that did come out there,
yeah. Man, that's just my every track on there, man. I love for Pusha. So yeah, I gotta go with My Name Is My Name. Bae, you got anything for 14?
I do. I just hope it came out this year. 2014, I got Run the Jewels.
Okay.
I think when Jay-Z did Magna Carta, Holy Grail, he was looking for that sound, and it didn't work. And Run the Jewels came out, and I was like, that's how you do that futuristic, techno, drum and bass, but hip-hop style. I don't think there's not one record on there I don't like. Now, I was really lifting a lot of weights around that time. I've since fell back, but Run the Jewels was like every time I went in the gym, I played that joint. It was just such a surprise from Killer Mike and LP to just blow up like that off the strength of just putting something together that was dope. It's conscious, it's militant, it's new, you know what I'm saying? It's energetic, it's just really dope. So yeah, man, 2014, man, Run the Jewels.
I gotta do the knowledge on these dudes, man, because I think I heard the last album. I haven't heard their stuff, but it's amazing to me the cult following that they have. Like I don't understand it. I mean, not saying that it's bad or anything like that, because I haven't really heard it, but it's just when you put those, like Vay just said, when you put those names together, I'm just surprised of the cult following. Like, what is it that people love about so much?
They each have their own following, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have
like Killer Mike and LP. Yeah, they have their own following.
Yeah, they got their separate followings, but it's the music. The music is hip hop that nobody else is really doing. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds like drum and bass. It sounds almost techno, but it just works. It's still hip hop, and I'm surprised it didn't become a trend. But I guess, like you said, Jay-Z ain't really pull it off, so. It belongs to Run the Jewels.
Hey, Kim, check out this joint by Killer Mike called God in the Building Part 2.
God in the Building Part 2?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, is that Killer Mike Dolo, or is that?
It's just Dolo.
Yeah, solo Mike. Yeah.
All right. No doubt. Nick, who you got that year?
Same thing. Close runner-up would be the Pinata album by Freddie Gibbs and Madlib.
All right. Burn, you passing or you good?
I'm passing.
All right, we in 14. I didn't know if this was because I was trying to stay to MCs and not really groups, but I had Prime. You know what I mean? I don't know if that is considered a group because it's just one person rhyming.
Yeah, that's good.
I personally thought that Royce just lyrically just annihilated this album right there. You know what I mean? I felt like he just went in. I felt like Primo. Like I said before, how do you mess up Adrian Young's catalog? Like, you could get his catalog to a 10-year-old who just started producing and have him just loop up stuff, and it's going to sound good. So, and then I liked it because it was short. 9 songs, in and out, and even loved the guest appearances. 2015, I think I know where people are going to go, but maybe I'll be surprised. Veg, who you got?
Nope, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay, that's where I thought he was going. That's right.
Just didn't really think he could follow. Well, I didn't know if he could follow Good Kid, Mad City, but for it to be a completely different type of album and the whole Black Lives Matter movement happening, it was just perfect timing for the album, and the collaborations, Terrence Martin and Thundercat and dudes like that. It just came together perfectly. Yeah, man. Really dope album.
All right, Nick,
Same thing. To Pimp a Butterfly, same thing. West, Kendrick, Terrence Martin, Thundercat, Fly Low.
Layla Hathaway.
Yeah, they just did it.
All right, no doubt. Vern, same.
Yeah, that's on my Mount Rushmore hip hop album.
All right, no doubt. I gotta stay with Kendrick. I think the only thing I was pissed off about this album was, man, I wanted that joint that ended up on the Untitled album. The joint with him and what did the white man say? A piece of the joint that he did on the Colbert Show or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought it was gonna be on that. So I remember when I seen Bilal, I seen this Institutionalized, and I was like, title don't sound like it. And I listened, I was like, oh man, this ain't on there. But yeah, I love the Pimp a Butterfly. One thing I always said that I honestly think that if once hip hop is being taught like it is now at universities, I do think this will be one of those albums that that will be in the history books of just the whole Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, the I joined by Pharrell is just like was to me the anthem. You had Black and Proud, then it was definitely we gonna be all right. But yeah, I feel you on that. 2016, Meg, what you got?
I got Chance the Rapper, even though those goddamn Honey Nut Cheerios commercials is making me hate his guts.
I still got Honey Nut Cheerios commercials?
Yeah, man, he's had them ever since he won a Grammy, and them shits be on every channel.
No, I have not. That's funny. I have not seen one. I have not even seen
Kit Kat too.
Yeah, I've seen Kit Kat. But I haven't seen the Honey Nut Cheerios, man. I think he must be doing something with Low too, because he's been wearing a lot of Low lately. So I'm wondering if he got a little thing with Ralph now or something like that.
He got a lot of endorsements off of the coloring book. That's what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mixtape. The thing about it that also kind of it was a little bit of a disappointment to me. Not necessarily the album. I love the album. I love the fact that it's probably the only gospel rap album that I would ever like that much. Because it was more of a spiritual thing as opposed to, somebody taking rap lyrics and, like kind of repurposing them to hip hop lyrics that we're used to hearing. And that usually always sounds corny to me. It's not about the faith. It's about, how you convey that message. And I felt like the way he did it was in such a way where it's not preachy or nothing. It's more about his spirituality than it is telling you about yours, but it makes you think about yours. And I think the fact that was a little disappointing was that was supposed to be Kanye's album before Pablo. Because when I heard he was doing something like that, I was like, yo, that might be crazy. But you could tell a lot of those ideas, maybe some of those beats went to Chance, but it was one of my top 5 of that year, man. So Chance the Rapper, 2015.
No doubt.
16, my bad.
Nick, who's rapping 16?
I actually got 3 albums. So West Coast Gangster Rap Done Right, Schoolboy Q, Blank Face LP. That's the underrated TDE artist. Mm-hmm. And YG Still Brazy. I like that album. And then also Detroit, we got Danny Brown with the Atrocity Exhibition for the off-kilter, old dirty bastard type rap.
All right,
so those are my 3 for 2016.
All right, Vern, who you got?
I don't care what Ev say. We got it from here. Thank you for your service.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, man. He called me the other day to ask about grass seed and how to plant grass in his backyard. I'm telling him all this stuff about fertilizer, get this. Okay. And then we about to get on the phone. He's like, yo, he's like, Cal, I was like, what's up? He's like, yo, Tribe still sucks, and hung up. It still be talking trash about that album, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with that. Because obviously that's one of my top 2 all-time favorite hip hop groups, and it took a minute for me because I had the expectation like Kill always talked about. I had to listen to it a couple of times and come back like, yes, this is a very good album. Space Program, We the People, Solid Wall of Sound, and I guess my favorite part of that album, man, Busta Rhymes lost his mind on that joint, boy, on that verse, man. It's like he was happy. Like his boys was back together, and so he just let it loose, man. So for me, we got it from here. Thank you for your service for 2016.
All right, no doubt. Now I'm with Vegas on Chance the Rapper. Everything he said, and like I said, more than anything, it's funny because a lot of my people didn't like Chance, and I would always be talking about Chance, and they'd be like, "Well, we just see him as like a little weird kid," and I'm like, "Yo, dude is dope." And then people started asking me like, "Yo, is he a Christian rapper?" And I'm like, "Nah, I just think that." This is just where he is with his walk because he cursing on the album, and a quote unquote Christian rapper wouldn't be cursing or whatever like that. But like Vague said, I think this is just where, and again, what I love about MCs, tell me about where you are in your life right now. The next album may not have nothing on it about God or anything like that, but it's just where he was at. I've never liked Christian hip hop. I just feel like it's too preachy. I feel like everything is God. You know, not to go on. Well, I kind of am going off on a tangent. One of the reasons why I always say I feel like a lot of people outside the church don't like gospel music is because a lot of these gospel people never share their story with people through their music. You know what I mean? Like, I found out about Donnie McClurkin and, you know, him being sexually abused as a kid through a BET commercial, not through his music. You know, I know Kirk talks about his porn addictions, but like, I think that's what always brought us into hip hop. It's like, yo, Jay's from Brooklyn, Vegas is from Brooklyn, or I live around the corner from like, we're always looking for a way to connect with people. You know, I know the way that Nick rides with Outkast because they from ATL. You know, I don't know where Fred Hammond's from. Got all his albums, I have no idea. You know, Detroit. I would never know. You know, but I think that that's the thing. Like, it's so God focused that it's like, I don't even know nothing about your story. Like, tell me something in your story so I can kind of rock with you. And I think that's the great thing about this album with Chance. Because I mean, you got the Jay Electronica, How Great Is Our God? You got them singing a gospel song for 2 minutes before the rap even starts. You know what I mean? And again, Jay Electronica kills it. 2017, last year, Vague, who you got?
This was kind of difficult because even when I did my top 5, there was so many dope albums that came out. It was hard to say, but I'm gonna go with Kendrick again. Mainly because, again, I didn't know what to expect. I was hoping it wasn't a To Pimp a Butterfly 2. I'm not one of those people who wanted him to go back to Good Kid, Mad City because that was more of an introduction to Kendrick and his life. And I felt like Damn was more of a combination of the two. And, you know, from the videos to, you know, the shows to the records to the people he collaborated with, he just did it again, you know what I'm saying? And it's probably my least favorite, and I use that term loosely because it's still better than a lot of people's stuff. But I just kind of felt like overall he just owned, and not necessarily just based off of hype, but he earned it. You know what I'm saying? He earned it through bars. He earned it through great music. Now the Black Panther soundtrack.
I haven't even heard that joint yet. I'm listen. But
I'm gonna wait till I see the movie. It might have a different effect on me.
All right. No doubt. Nick, who you got for 2017?
Just more on what he said about Kendrick. Kendrick kind of following the same path as Outkast to me, where they was like the pimps, the Southern pimps on Southern Playlisted. They kind of went out a little bit on ATLians and then bridged it with Aquemini. I kind of see him doing the same thing with Good Kid, Mad City, Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn. But 2017 for me is coming to the South. Big Crit and Saha the Prince, Two-Way Tie. No Dope on Sundays, and what was it? Forever is a Mighty Long Time. Just 2 albums that Def Jam should not have let walk out the office. I don't know how they let that shit go.
Pretty much.
Both those joints was like they
were both on Def Jam. They were both on Def Jam.
Yeah.
Both of them. So I don't know how they let that walk out. But like you said, 2017 was tough. That was a good year for hip hop.
All right, no doubt.
All right, so Kendrick has been said, Saha has been said. I'm gonna go with P Jizzle, man. PJ Morton, Gumbo, bro.
Okay.
You know, we've talked about him on several podcasts. You know, just his. Okay, here's one who did talk about his truth, kill. You know, and bring some truth to it. He's a preacher's kid who's like, I don't like your religion. You know, your God is had nothing to do with this. And that's what a lot of people who are not in the church can relate to. Then he talk about with his girl, because that's another thing that I trip about with some people in the church. I'm like, okay, so when you with your girl, you listening to How Great Is Our God? Come on, man, put on some Luther. Be real. Be a whole well-rounded person. And I think that's what PJ Morton gives us, man. So they're gonna want to come. You know, talking about people who gonna try to, you know, come when you winning, but they wasn't in the gym when you were shooting. You know, and even talk about going through your phone. I mean, those are real life things that we all face and relate to, man. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, I gotta send me this album, man, because y'all bring it up every show, and I've never heard it.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. I'll send you the album, but then after you watch the album, check him out when he came through on the podcast.
Yeah,
me and JR had him on.
It was dope, man.
Real good dude, man. Real good dude. I can't, you know, I mean, this is JR kept talking about the album because I had never heard of dude before. I had never heard of dude, and JR kept tweeting and talking about it. I was like, yo, let me check this album out. Yo, this is the first time in my life I ever listened to an album and wrote the review while I was listening to it. And I don't want to hype it up, and then you listen, you're like, I ain't that good. So I should. But for me, that was the first time I've ever written a review of an album, like while I'm listening to it, because the songs were that good and the songs were, you know, dope. He actually has an unplugged version about to come out. I think it's next month in March. But yeah, very, very dope album. He was nominated for 2 Grammys, then went. A very dope album. For me, I gotta go with Sci High No Dope on Sunday. Yeah. I still bang this album. I don't think a week goes by when I don't listen to this album. Every week I got another favorite. Right now it's that joint with Jagged Edge. Like I can just listen to that over and over and over again. Like Sci High's lyrics just always get me. Like when you say I run the A like that at symbol, like that. That brother got on when he said I run the A like an at symbol. I'm like, yo, this dude, man, is just crazy. So yeah, I gotta go with No Dope on Sundays. My man hit me the other day, said, Kill, you haven't shouted out a book in a while. Here's my book of the week.
Low Life.
Me knows I love polo. That's all I wear. Low Life is an incredible book. If you are into polo, it has everything that you could honestly ever see. Dope pictures of the Low Life crew, the stadium line that just came back out. Not to mention, Complex just dropped the new doc they got out called Horsepower on Low. I want to be in the next one. I knew like all these people. I got friends all in there. You know, they got the polo on the Deuce. I gotta go next year. T make fun of me for it. Like, you really gonna go to New York dressed in polo, just to on 42nd Street and look at other niggas in polo? I'm like, yeah, I'm going. You know what I mean? So that's just it. Babe, give them all your information where they can get at you, good brother.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Vegas World INC, and you can check out my podcast, Hip Hop Now Podcast, available on iTunes and your Android device.
No doubt, Nick. Give them everything.
Twitter is at Balloon BUHLOONE. Kill he gonna link it up. IG is 14 Karat Gold Slum Computer Wizard. He'll link it up.
Hey, no doubt. Vern, what's up with your stuff, man?
Twitter V Channel 10, Instagram VE Channel 10. Let me plug a book too. This Maurice White joint, great read, bro. All right. Great read. Yeah.
All right, no doubt. We gotta get everybody in my book club. I can't remember who's there because I'm not there half the damn time. But I'm getting back on it. The machine be calling me every night, and I don't be reading. I gotta get back on it. You already know this with me. Kill 889. We'll make beats for food. If you are in the DMV next Saturday, February 24th, come through the American Poetry Museum from 4 to 6. We will have another live taping of the podcast. Got a lot of special guests gonna be there. We got the MPC 3000 with my man DJ Iran making beats while we're doing stuff. We got records for sale. It's a dope vibe of hip hop. You know, cats are definitely coming out. We're building a nice little community out here. Sponsored by my man Gadget from Scratch Magazine and Rhythm Lingo Records. So please, if you're in the DMV, come out and check us out. As always, y'all, I will catch y'all next week. Appreciate y'all time, good brothers.
Likewise.